Let's call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Where's my agenda?
Agnes Vornarski,
Present.
Peter Hahn,
Here.
John Kamish,
Here.
Dana Syvertson,
Here.
Jill Moskell, Recording Secretary, Ed Madden, we believe may be absent.
And the next is approval of minutes of the regular meeting of June 8th.
I move to approve the minutes.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion approves. Okay. Old business. Update on workday schedules for the summer. So the last workday, we were at Heron Pond, and we planted a lot of plants. We planted over 1,500 plants. It was a very nice workday. Next workday, this Sunday, we were going to be at the slough, but the slough is underwater, so we can't plant at the slough. But we have a lot to do at Morava, so we'll be there, planting, removing invasives.
Is Morava underwater, or what's the deal? I haven't been there with the flood.
It was
Anybody know?
quite spectacular to see the entire parking lot in 2 or 3 feet of water, because we
Wow.
were there. We went out to go plant with Peter. We went to go plant plants, and then the
that
rain
don't-
came.
That
and
was the first wave.
That was the first wave. After the first wave, we arrived, and literally over the baseball diamond, the water was gushing over like a waterfall into the creek.
Wow.
That was after the second wave.
Yeah, after the second wave.
Went back out, huh?
Gosh, yeah, it was a lot of water. It was a lot of water. And it's very easy to see how that erosion happens over there. I don't think any sort of grasses could hold that back over there, right when it comes in at that culvert.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah, it was quite spectacular. Peter, you saw it,
Yeah, yeah, it was,
Yeah.
the creek was really
Yeah.
running.
right? I've never seen it. I've never seen it that way.
I'm showing it to John
I
right now.
know, but nobody else can see it.
I'll pass it down there.
Oh, I want to see it, but nobody else can see it.
So, just out of curiosity, if we had a bridge going over it, how would it fare with this flood? Would it be above the water, or?
I think the bridge would have accounted for that.
It was, it went down pretty
Some of that
quickly. I
they
mean,
just
it's
need to
very,
have
we were there this morning, and it was pretty low. Can you turn the volume down at least when you show it? It was back down to like 10 inches.
That's the parking lot.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got it. Yeah,
Right.
Got it. I know where that is.
we got it.
Fault.
Got to turn that down. See, picking it up on the microphones.
Even at its high spot, I think any bridge design would have been out of harm's way.
Yeah.
So
Good to hear.
even with
It was
that.
high
fault.
water, but it moved along quickly. Although then at some point, everything backed up.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. But since it's a tributary, it doesn't back up as much as, let's say, the slough, which is a tributary of McDonald Creek, which is a tributary of Des Plaines River, that overflowed the
Look who's
river
here.
road today.
So when the Des Plaines backs up, it backs up to McDonald Creek.
Yeah, well, everything's interconnected,
So
so,
that's,
so that little tributary goes through the slough into McDonald Creek, which then goes to the Des Plaines River. So when the Des Plaines River is at its high point and it overcrests, and when it, goes on the roads, that water has nowhere to go.
Okay.
So it just backs up, and it's, when you have that much water coming down,
so really the Des Plaines River is the key then.
yeah, and then further down,
Yeah.
the next one and the next one. and
Right.
That's why you see those big floods
It all
along the
boils down to
Mississippi,
the Gulf of Mexico, really.
eventually, right? But when you got to move water that fast, you can't do it.
No.
No amount of pipes no amount of plants are going to absorb that water that quickly, so.
Prairie plants would absorb it all.
Well,
One thing we don't know is
long time ago, probably.
blockages.
That's true.
That could be downstream as
Yeah.
well. And as our experience from doing the creek walks, there are often some significant blockages on there. I don't know if that's something we can reach out to the water, not the water committee, but the creek, the new creek
the new creek.
organization, to see about getting those resurrected.
Yeah.
Especially because of the issue we had right here at the slough
Right.
and across Elmhurst Road from it, because very easily that could have been complicated by
Any major blockages? Sure.
and it's been a
yeah.
couple of years since that's been surveyed.
That's true,
So,
true. but the Des Plaines River overflowed onto River Road, so.
Yeah, so.
That's, I mean,
So much for the.
the water's
lighting
going
system.
over the blockages, you know? When it's that
That's
high.
true, but
Yeah.
normally it takes, if it's strictly, relying on outflow
Right,
into
absolutely.
the river, it takes a while
Yeah,
for
it
that
does.
to catch up. That was
does.
instant there.
That was very instant, yeah.
So, and it might have been just a delay, a deluge of water, which I suspect it was, but if there was a blockage somewhere near, say, just beyond Walnut Woods,
Mm-hmm.
or between Walnut Woods and Woodland Creek,
Right.
it's now
Would've-
Home and,
Mm-hmm.
House and Home or something, Lake and Home. That could be a factor as well.
Impactful, sure, yeah.
So, just
Well,
an idea.
Now we see the 100-year floods happening every year, twice a year, so. It's gonna be
It's the
tough,
Climate change.
right? So, we'll see, but a lot of the plants that we planted survived along the creek.
Yeah, it was the amazing part.
Good.
It was great.
They hung on, huh?
I
They
mean, if
hung
you look at
on.
that video, that was
Right.
some force there.
So we switched this time to switchgrass and to prairie cordgrass, which are really aggressive grasses. That's sort of our last defense, to choose those grasses, but they really hold on, so hopefully that'll work around there.
Good.
And the interns planted those. So, okay, so this Sunday, we're gonna be at Morava, we're gonna be planting more, and then also, we have an extra workday on Monday. For anybody that wants to, this is not, any volunteer that wants to show up, because St. Alphonsus has reached out to us. I think we talked at the last workday, at the last meeting. They have a wet depression in front of the parking lot there. It's about 1/4 of an acre to 1/2 an acre. And they have planted native prairie grasses about 10 years ago there in the ditch. But they wanted to extend that area. It's very difficult to mow. It's a really nice area. They have grammar school there. They also have volunteers that come out on Mondays to work with their garden areas. So the volunteers have agreed to volunteer to plant plants, to go collect their own seeds. So it's sort of like a Tully Park thing where we just give them a little bit of knowledge and a little expertise and show them what to do and help them out a little bit, and then I think it'll just really take off in that area.
We'll also conduct burns for them when it's time
it's
to
necessary.
burn.
It's a really easy one.
But it absolutely is not our project. It is totally St. Alphonsus' project. They are going to be contributing things to the project to offset the costs. They will be volunteering to help with the planting and with transplanting plugs when it's time, and with seed collection. We will share in the seed collection process, so it's a win-win-win, just like Tully Park.
So it's at 5:30 on Monday.
Okay.
5:30 is when they normally meet on Mondays until dark. So we'll be there, and a few of our volunteers are interested.
What were the hours?
5:30
to-
PM.
5:30
at
to
St.
like
Alphonsus.
7.
Seven-ish.
On Monday. It'll just be an additional workday. And then I also received a phone call about the Rotary Club wanting to volunteer, a few of their volunteers, and that will be either that workday or a future workday that we have through July. And I'll let you guys know when that is. It was just recent, a couple days ago, so.
Okay.
What else about workday schedules? All the Taylor Creek plants came for Heron Pond and from Morava. There's over 2,000 plants from the grant and from the Heron Pond project. All of those have been planted except for about 30 water lilies. The guys did a great job. They had to put on waders, get in the water. John, you saw them.
Yeah.
Your son,
Yeah,
Aaron.
took some great photos.
So all of those have been planted. I hope they're still there after these rains. All of those were planted almost immediately after they arrived. Altogether, we've planted more than 8,000 plants so far. We have about 15,000 plants left.
Has there been any feedback from the residents around there?
Positive feedback.
What's that?
Positive feedback.
Okay.
No negative feedback. One person was just not apprehensive maybe, but That there's that one little stretch that's very narrow that will, if nothing is done, will erode away, and there will be no path
Right.
there that the creek can connect to the pond. And so they're just wary of the effectiveness of the grasses in controlling that erosion versus a seawall. But, you know, let's just try it. I mean, let's try a growing season or 2 growing seasons.
Yeah, and I think it'll be totally successful because it's, where it differs from Marava is there's no forced water coming in to wipe that away.
Right.
And we
Almost
noticed
like a little
today
isolated pond.
that the areas that are getting the massive amount of erosion at Marava are areas where there are still trunks of trees that are still embedded in the
holding it,
bank. And so you get an eddy in front of the trunk and you get an eddy behind the trunk and it digs real deep, you know.
Plus the amount of water that comes through
Pockets,
the
right.
system. You know,
But you have nowhere where you have, at Heron Pond, where you have that same sort of force. So I think personally
you
that
can be successful.
we're going to be really successful there in stabilizing that.
I wouldn't blame it on the eddies.
It's always the Eddie's fault.
Well, we were just taking an aquatics class with those pond lilies, and you don't think about it floating aquatic vegetation, but they really do slow down the water from reaching the shoreline. And all it is that force of water on the shore. When you have a little creek and it's inundated with, you know, with hundreds of gallons of water, thousands, millions of gallons of water coming in at the same time, that water flows so fast with such a force, it just takes the soil with it. When you have a pond like that, it's not as great. And so, but they were talking about in
Becomes a
this
big
class.
shock absorber.
Right, a shock absorber, because those lilies really take the force
They absorb all the.
before the water
wave.
can, so. That wouldn't work in a creek situation, but it'll work in a pond situation, so. And the park district funded that too, so.
Right.
So that's that. Any other questions about the workdays? Any comments, anything at all?
Nope.
Nope. I think I covered most. So I have a lot of plants to plant. Yeah. Okay. Then next is the annual block party and outcome.
I think the block party was a lot of fun and was also really successful. While we didn't sign as many new people up for email solicit, you know, to subscribe to the journal and the email. I
That's
think
because a lot
the
of
main
people-
reason is most of those people were already signed up that came and visited us. And what was interesting feedback was the people who did sign up last year were telling us how great the plants were that we gave them last year, and they asked if they could have more this year.
Right.
So we just gave it to them.
And they were happy that there were new species
Right.
too.
And there were new species, so that all worked out well. We ended up with about 68 new subscribers to the journal and to the workday notices. I don't think we've seen any dividends in terms of people volunteering who originally signed up for that. No, we did, we saw one. One person who came to the last workday who we actually hooked up with through that. The block party, otherwise, I think it was a nice high profile that we had. I think it increased our visibility. As far as next year goes, we certainly want to print out more brochures.
More plants.
We want to have more plants.
I couldn't imagine that all those
We
plants would
figured,
go.
we gave out 800 plants at that,
800 six-packs?
No, I wish I had the exact numbers, but I know we made 100 six-packs, and I made about 40 more. So over 800 plants, but 140 six-packs. And I thought that would be more than enough, but you know, I had to race home again and get more plants, so. It was very nice, because you know that those plants are going all over Prospect Heights and
But I
increasing.
think we eventually put a sign that said free plants. I think we should put free plants if you sign up.
Yeah.
Because people just saw free, and
Although that does draw them in though, too.
this is true, and then we can talk with them.
Put an asterisk.
Asterisk, that's good. Free plants with an asterisk.
I think all the commissioners did a great job. You guys are all
Yeah, you guys
commended
were all there.
and pulling that booth together. It was a nice presence, and the Park District should be commended. I thought this event was so much better than last year. It was just really well organized, really a great time all the way around.
What do you guys think? I mean, you guys, most of you were there.
I liked the size of our space. I thought that was terrific. And both were tented, and John's decorations, yeah, we really, I think each.
You
one
guys
improved
see any
well.
changes you would make for next year or any suggestions?
I can't suggest a thing.
I think we have to have more gum to give away.
Yes,
That's a big
more gum
seller.
to give away. Right, things for children, because they
Things
would
for
come up and then
kids.
they'd draw the parents.
I think some better signage would be good, and we can
Yeah.
work on that this year, but we got those, our logo is on it, it's kind of small. I think if it's presented a little bigger, but that's about the only thing I can think of that would make it visually maybe more appealing and, yeah.
I would suggest bringing some of our workday signs, or even the sign that we
were all
used
there.
during.
They were all there.
Yeah,
they
we
were
did
there?
that. We even
Okay.
bought
Even
the
the
burn
suit.
suits.
Yeah,
and-
okay,
The kids love the burn suits.
yeah.
We wanted to
Prescribed
dress
by-
you up in it, but
That's why I didn't come.
We even had the pink handkerchief available.
Yeah.
and set you on fire.
It's a real attraction. As the sun sets.
No, it was a lot of fun, a lot of great people. I think what was really, really nice this year was that a lot of people came up just to tell us that they really enjoyed what we were doing and that it's making a difference and that they really like everything and that they'd walk it all the time. And that was very nice, very nice. Even, if people didn't necessarily want to sign up for the journal or didn't need plants, or they just came up to say, great job, which was really nice. Really nice to hear that.
And it's also inspiring. I've talked to 2 women who are planting prairie gardens. So they're learning from us about natural landscape. So say we're teaching them too.
Yeah. Mhm. Anything else about that then? It was fun. Okay, then next, the City of Prospect Heights 4th of July Parade and outcome. Jill, would you like to?
Well,
About
I
that?
thought it was a perfect day. I love that that I ran into the mayor and he took the picture with us. That's always great. I think organizing the lineup could have been a little bit better. There was some disorganization, where you go, where you exit. And I think the speed of the route was a little too fast for those of us walking. It seemed like it was over within a nanosecond.
I felt fine.
Yeah, you were driving the car while we were running behind you.
Yeah, comments we received is, what year is that? What year is that bus?
Yeah, we should get something a little newer, don't you think?
Oh,
No, it was perfect, perfect.
a Lamborghini?
I was amazed by Hebron Church and the effort they put into that to make that happen.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The-
It
The
is
generosity is just
Right,
overwhelming.
and how they can get everything so perfectly organized for that many people.
Yeah.
Just so perfect.
There might be a
It's great.
lesson there for us.
Their hot dog line was perfect.
Yeah, really. It was just
Yeah.
amazing. It was a great event.
It would have been helpful, too, to know that the people lining the parade route expected you to throw candy. We didn't know that. The kids were standing there with bags, waiting for the candy. You don't have to?
Oh, you don't have to.
But there seemed to be,
Did you not get an application?
yeah.
Written on that application, it was positive, it says if you plan on handing anything out, just anything other than candy, just notify the
Yeah.
city.
Oh,
So
Yeah, they do give out a lot of candy.
we'll try to make
But
that
we
a little bit
did.
more obvious than.
But we did give out candy, though.
yeah, we ran out.
We ran out. We ran out, and that's the thing. I think we ran out. We could have given out so many brochures. There's a lot of people attending that parade on the sides there, and
I think we should remove the plastic bag component
for
for environmental reasons.
Well, I thought of that, but I also thought that people getting the candy, they could put the candy in the bag, other candy that they would.
Yeah,
right.
I think they should put it in their pocket. But it's just too many plastic bags to, for the Natural Resources Commission to be dishing out. They're gonna go straight in the landfill.
What about the small paper lunch bag?
That might do, but I think something that's just visible as soon as you hand it to them, they don't have to, and those things, I think the simpler the better.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know.
That's an interesting idea. So you think eliminate the candy altogether? or-
No, he's saying.
I think you can
eliminate the
fling
bags.
candy out all you want, but
But
hand
then-
brochures, to
Individually,
Yeah.
people, yeah, this is not a bad idea, like, just separate it out. We had a lot of volunteers join us this year, that was really nice. There was
Yeah, it was.
probably, what, like eight
Yeah.
volunteers, and then all of us, so, I mean, there was plenty of people to hand out brochures, we just ran out, and there's plenty of people to hand them out to, so.
Weren't we passing around the idea of doing a float, actually doing a float next year?
Yeah, that was Agnes's idea.
My little dream, but,
And the question for you was, would that thing pull a float?
in a pull float.
Okay.
yeah, a little float.
That way we
Like
could
that.
keep up with you.
Depends how big the float is. I was just keeping up with the people in front of me who I thought
I
were walking
know,
slow, so.
of course,
but
well, that's,
I guess not. Sorry about that.
oh, no, it's okay, of
No,
course, we were
no.
just keeping up with the people in front, but it just, the people in front were going fast, it's okay.
A float would be cool. We could dress up a trailer or something.
Yeah. We can have all 4 Silphiums. Or anything else anybody thinks of, but
Okay.
I'm willing to do a float,
Trees and plants.
trees and plants, yeah. Mhm. Oh, I mean, there's so many ideas. We have plenty of time to think about it for the float.
Mhm.
It doesn't take that long.
About a
Peter,
year.
Peter, does the parade ever have a marching band?
The 2 years I've been here, no.
That would be a great idea if they had a marching
They
band.
are expensive.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can get one from the high school that's willing to do it for free.
And they're pretty much already booked.
And, yeah, they,
Yeah, they do
Right,
a
for
really
that
big
event.
coming
one.
from another municipality where
Yeah.
they prided themselves on getting like the marching band, it's very competitive and you do have to pay for it. So,
We'll just have to start practicing our own instruments.
Yeah.
Or we could have music coming from our float.
There you go.
Ooh,
We can do that.
we can do,
I like that better.
all right, there we go.
Okay. I got those notes.
Yeah, we do. It's a great event.
What were the plants you mentioned?
It's very community building. It's really nice.
That was really good, Peter. Good job.
Plants you mentioned?
Well, I mentioned
Good job.
silphiums. So there's four
Fourth of
prairie
July parade.
silphiums and,
all Karen Schultes.
Really?
Yes. It's all Karen.
Yeah.
So
she-
if
Yeah.
you're happy with it, praise Karen. If
All
you're
right.
sure,
upset with it, yell at Karen. That's all.
Go Karen.
yeah. No, it was really great, really great.
All right.
Okay, anything else anybody wants to add? No. Okay, next, Kids Care Workday on June 25th. It was amazing. It was really amazing. These little kids, not all little, but really between the ages of like 2 and 14 came out with their
13.
parents. 13, 2 and
Yeah.
13. Came out with their parents. It was a great event. Once again, I was shocked by these kids because when I saw them, I thought, okay, well, they can probably plant 100 plants. And when they got out there, they did it in like 15 minutes again. So it was really nice. We had lunch, and then we did a little educational piece, and then we just went on site just to get them interested so they're not sitting there listening to just someone talk. We went out there, then we talked a little bit more, then they got to planting. Everybody, all of the parents were helping them. It was a really nice event. And then they finished much quicker than I expected. I would have brought 3 times the amount of plants, but who knew that a 3-year-old would be so delicately planting a plant with their
They
parents?
took it very seriously.
They did. It was so sweet. It was really, really nice. And the best part is that they get to come back and see that planting next year and the year after that and know that they did that, which it's really, really sweet. So because we finished early, we went on a walk with everybody. And so we just went around and I kept stopping and talking about everything. And then the kids started asking questions. So then I was answering questions. And it was a really nice event, very nice event, I think.
Yeah, the interesting thing was you almost got a preview of what the facility can actually be because the kids
Yeah.
actually started using the things that were there.
Right. You know how we
From an
talk
inter-
about
from
them
an
sitting
interpretive-
on that,
They're sitting on the log, they're
On the
walking
log,
on the
but-
log, there's
yeah.
a balance beam on the log, they're standing on the tribal center that we
They're
created. They're
interested in
jumping up and down.
insects.
right,
They're looking at
they're
insects.
pointing
It's
at
like,
things.
wow, okay, this works. So that was good.
That was very nice to see, very nice. Jill, anything you want to say about
No,
it?
I just, you did, it was wonderful.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Are there any more kids' work days in the future?
The scouts at Marava,
Which we'll talk about
we'll,
soon.
we'll be
Yeah.
talking about soon, but
Oh, okay, yeah.
But then they want to also do another day in the fall with us, the kids care, for like seed collection. and-
No.
Mhm. Yeah. But as, anytime anybody's interested, oh, and MacArthur wants to do seed collection in the fall with us too. They haven't set that up yet, but right when they start back at school, they'd like to set that up too,
Good.
for one of their volunteer days that they have. And, yeah, that's about it. We still would really be great to get high school kids involved. I don't know.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I had a really hard time connecting. I mean, I tried multiple times
I know you did.
to connect to the environmental science teacher over there and also to the service over self program there, and they just don't get back to me.
Yeah.
So, I don't know,
Maybe a different high school.
yeah.
Well, we have a lot on our plates, but it's something to think about to try to, because once you get them in, then they come back. It's just a matter of, but I guess Hersey's just not interested.
Yeah, a lot of their faculty's involved with sports, and so they wrap themselves around that after school instead of doing stuff like this.
Right, right.
So, I don't know.
Well,
They just have so much going on there,
Yeah.
too. I mean,
well, I think that, you want me to end? Well, I think people just don't realize it, and it's like MacArthur. Once they got us in there to talk to them, once they came out to volunteer, then they're so excited, they want to do more, they want to do more. Just get our feet in the door at some point, to any high school, I think let's try to do that maybe over the winter when we have a little bit more time. Yeah,
Sure.
all right, new business, summer interns?
The summer interns, boy, the summer has absolutely whizzed by. Next Friday, a week from tomorrow, is Jeremy's last day, believe it or
Yeah.
not. Yeah, wow is right. And then Aaron's got like 2 weeks after that.
4 weeks.
4 weeks?
Yeah, he's
Is
a
it 4
month,
weeks?
started a month
Okay.
later. Mhm.
The work that those guys have accomplished is absolutely extraordinary. I mean, they have accomplished so much. It's like having, every day they go to work, it's like having a complete workday. And it's been like that
Yeah.
all summer long. And
A lot of invasive.
the thing that's been really interesting is to watch them grow and watch them progress and accumulate knowledge and be able to, and then next thing you know, you turn around, they're walking out in the field and they're talking about plants in terms of Latin names, and they're identifying stuff, and they're questioning her about whether, is that really what that is? And I mean, it's astonishing to watch that whole thing transpire like that.
Well, in the beginning, their very first days, like, they didn't know, and, Aaron had a little bit of experience, but he was, like, here's a field of Reed Canary, go spray for 8 hours, that's it, he didn't have to know anything else, and now, they know so much that you can trust them to say, guys, go out there and get the invasives. And you don't even have to tell them how, why, what, where, they got it, they know what the native plants are, they know what the invasives are, they know what the control methods are, they know why or what's the priority, and it's really great. So as we kind of move along, I do a little bit more in-depth things and a little bit more talking about ecologic, and about, FQI analysis.
Yeah, and
and-
Peter, thank God, has spent
Yeah.
several work
Wednesdays,
opportunities with them
right.
to help them with.
Well, Peter, I think, can say a
Yeah, I
little
was
bit.
really impressed, you think a rainy day, well, they're not going to be doing anything.
Right.
And we had a little rain this past Wednesday,
Right.
and there was like classes being held in the garage there, and it's really interesting. I just was amazed, really, at the taking notes and,
Utilizing their time.
yes,
Yeah.
completely learning. And
Right.
you think, well, it's raining, we won't do anything today, but no.
No, every minute, yeah.
That's
and
great.
that day that I happen to be there, we happen to do that, because I'm not there all the time, so I try to use that time when I'm there to try to educate, and then, I mean, even when it's raining when I'm not there, you know, they're filling trays, or they're organizing seed, or they're doing all sorts of different things, so.
It's good to see, really good.
I think it's something that I would personally like to see continue year after year after year.
For
I think
sure.
3 interns would probably be way too much.
Too much? Oh, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Oh my God.
Never too much, always things to do.
Yeah, of course.
We just add more projects.
But 2 seems to be just really having the foot on the gas all the time. And it takes a lot of time and energy to program them and make sure everything is going correctly. But the dividends are so huge. I mean, the amount of work that has been accomplished this summer has just been unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, every single site we have is in a much better place because of those 2 guys. So, and they're gonna go back to whatever they're going to do, and Jeremy's gonna be a senior, and Aaron will be a junior. They're gonna go back with a completely different perspective on everything because of this experience. And it's just, to know that you've actually touched somebody's life like that, and given them, you know, basically professional experience at such a young age, it
Different
just
view.
changes their worldview and their perspective of everything. And
Before they leave, are they going to write something like Daniela did?
yeah,
Trying
they're
to
both
get their-
supposedly, they're working together on an article for the Journal. And by the way, next, what is it, next Friday?
Wednesday.
No,
Oh,
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Next Wednesday is Prairie Hopping Day. You guys are,
We did this with Danielle.
All
On her
totally
last day,
invited to
Peter,
Oh, yes.
remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
so I almost forgot this, but, so what the plan is to take the 2 interns to Poplar Creek, and then go see the Gravel Hill Prairie, and then that
Yeah,
335 acres of prairie, and then
The Schulenburg.
When is this, Wednesday during the day?
During the day.
next Wednesday during the day. So
What-
we'll leave early in the morning,
7 immediately, and come back at
right, and
Okay,
so
that's
we'll,
fine.
we'll
3.
Okay.
3?
we'll pack a lunch and drinks and all that stuff, and then we end up, usually we go Poplar Creek in the morning,
That's July 19th we're talking?
yeah,
Okay.
and then we go to Schulenburg Prairie, have lunch, and then go through the Schulenburg Prairie. But the idea here was, they've been working on all this rudimentary level and, you know, controlling invasives and planting young plants, and they haven't had a chance to see a really fully mature prairie. And so what our experience with Danielle, when we did this with her last year, was it just illuminated the whole thing for her, because she got to see what the end result would look like 20 years down the line. And so we felt that that experience was so valuable, we wanted to repeat it. And since Jeremy's last day is Friday, we're going to do it this Wednesday when she has
But we can
off.
change that. How available are you guys, and who wants to go?
I am absolutely not available that Wednesday. The following Wednesday, I could make the
Yeah,
26th.
Jeremy's done.
You're not available at all during
I
that
got a
day?
whole day of patience.
Yeah, I have, my wife has a medical procedure that day.
What about Friday of that same week? Could you guys do Friday?
That work is changing, like, I'll be working Wednesdays for a while, so, but later.
I can
later
make
in-
Friday,
It's the 21st.
Starting the 19th,
21st.
my work schedule is.
Changing?
Yeah, that's when I'll be working Wednesdays, but it'll be a late start, so, but I'll be.
But this Wednesday, you'll still have off?
The 19th, that's coming up, that's a week.
That's
from-
this Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's next Wednesday.
Yeah,
That's next-
I'll be working,
on Wednesday.
but late, you know, I
Right,
don't
like
know.
what time?
I think I start at 5:30, something like that, it's
Until
really
what time?
10:30,
Oh.
it's really a strange schedule
Right.
now.
But theoretically, you could make
Yeah,
it, but you
could-
might be
I could see,
tired.
yeah, I could see, exactly.
What about the other days? Or do you work every day?
Yeah, I'll have other days off, yeah, yeah. I don't know the schedule right now completely, but I know
Mhm.
the 19th, I did see that I'm working the 19th, that Wednesday late. So I'll get back to you.
Okay.
I want to go.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot of
Yeah.
fun. I And I think, John, it sounds like you really want to go too, so,
I'd love to go.
Yeah.
I can't next Wednesday, though. I
Okay.
can make Friday, the 21st happen, I can make the following Wednesday happen.
What about Friday? Could could we switch, Pete, what's your Friday look like?
I don't know for sure. I think I'm open that day, but I didn't bring my schedule.
Jill, do you want to come to this?
I would like to come by, I don't know if I could swing it.
Well, you can swing it for half a day even. Just join us there, either at
Yeah.
Poplar Creek or Schulenburg Prairie.
Yeah.
Take your own car and just
Yeah.
go for a couple hours. That's an option. too. We could, I can.
I could necessarily split that too, so if we wanted some half-dayers, we can maybe put a half-day caravan together.
All right, so
Yeah, that's-
Friday, it sounds like it might work better for everybody?
Maybe, but Peter Slesson, look at his schedule for work. Do you
Right.
have that? You just have to look at it?
I have to look at it.
Okay, I have to look at it. John, for John, it works the Friday the 21st. I know I can take Friday off, and I'm sure you can
Yeah, I
change
I
that day off.
haven't, yeah.
If not, if Friday doesn't work, you said next Wednesday works, and in the eventuality that we have to do next Wednesday, we'll have to run it by your schedule, but if it's a late day, you may be able to do it.
Let's see
But
what
if
Jeremy's
not-
up to.
Right, because I don't think he's going back to school yet. but
No, he's
maybe-
working.
But he may be able to switch his last day to next Wednesday, you know what I mean? So that, it all works, because it'd be really nice for everybody to be able to make it that wants to come.
Yeah.
It's really special, and it's a really nice.
I would, but I can't, neither day.
Neither,
None of the three,
none of the three. Any others? That you can
probably
think of?
not. I mean, the following Friday, that's,
That's too far down the
Yeah.
line.
It is far down the line, he goes back to school, so we got like.
and even that I cannot go to either. Sorry.
All right, so
okay.
Yeah,
you,
don't-
all
don't-
I'll get
four
back.
of
Keep
you
me out
guys
of the
meet,
midway.
just send us an email.
Yeah, we'll email back and forth about dates and times and everything, we'll try to make it work for everybody.
Okay.
I'm pretty flexible, I know Dana is, and then we'll work with everybody to make sure that everybody can come,
Okay.
Okay.
and with the guys too. Okay, good.
All right, Marana Center and the Chipman response to the Eagle Scout project. Chipman came back to us and basically said that they were not willing to do a suspension bridge because they didn't want to accept the liability, and they didn't want to do the work because they knew they didn't want to accept the liability. They also had a very nice suggestion of putting stepping boulders in the creek, and we're looking into that right now. So we're working with a landscaper that works with the Park District, and we're garnering quotes and information about how feasible that would be.
Are they still a little upset about kind of? the
No, I
whole-
think they're okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Sam did reach out to me. Sam is under a bit of a deadline to get his Eagle Scout project underway, so we will be talking to Sam, trying to sync it up with it, so that he can be part of the ongoing discussion with the landscaper about putting the rocks in. But the Park District did come through there with the bulldozer, cleaned up all that rubble and stuff that was dumped. That path it's now like 6.5 feet wide. It goes all the way down to the stepping stones.
So it's
They
very-
covered it with
Yeah, it's very delineated.
wood chips.
There's still a little bit of rubble, but we'll just work with it and
Okay.
just,
Right.
but it's at least
So it
delineated.
is ready for the scouts to come in and line it out, and then they can work on the other side of the path as well. The discussion about the interpretive signage is,
That needs to be done fairly quickly because our
quickly.
grant has to be expended by a certain time,
right,
within the next few months. So we have to work together with the interpretive signage. And I think maybe if everybody has ideas, and just sort of throws them out over the next couple of weeks, maybe the next meeting we could come together with some nice
Is this
samples,
interpretive
ideas.
signage at Marava? or-
At Marava.
Just at Marava, as
Just at
part of the
Marava.
grant.
Yeah, and it's part of the grant. So we have to think about cost, we have to think about what we need. So about $7,500 has been already expended there for the project,
out of 20.
out of 20. So we have $12,500 left. So that's for the stepping boulder stones, that's for all interpretive signage and any other shrubs, trees, plants, seeds that we would need there. So the interpretive signage was a big part of this. I mean, that was the major thing, to label things, to have really nice signage about, and this is what we need to discuss, whether it's about floodplains, whether it's about the creek, whether it's about nature, whether it's about bird species, what sort of things do we want there? And I think those are three things that everybody should think about. What the interpretive signage should say, what type of interpretive signage should be there. We have to think about cost too. A big, huge sign can cost a few $1,000s, or it can cost, or a simple sign can cost a couple $100s. So those sort of things we need to think about. How much signage, where, all of that stuff we have to start talking about. I'm not saying to do it right away, but I think at the next meeting, if everybody sort of maybe just brainstorms, thinks about it, I'll try to get some samples together. If you guys can find some things.
We need some outdoor
examples.
signs that are gonna hold up in
Yeah.
weather and all that, so, I mean,
Totally.
I imagine they're gonna cost a little more than a little less
Yeah.
if they are gonna hold up to the elements.
Yes.
Christina gave us a couple of leads.
Oh, good.
Ooh, we should forward that.
Yeah, I'll
Forward the
that to
leads.
everybody.
Okay.
So, but those are, and for like one or two really big main signs, I think that's a great idea, but we can also do simple things like label the trees, like they
Yeah.
do at the Morton Arboretum.
Right.
And those aren't, they're weather hardy, but they're simple. And
You have a
have 'em-
source for those little ID tags that you can mount on the end of a post or whatever.
Yeah, those little
I
things
have- I
can
get
make a
those on
difference
really,
too.
really cheap.
We can have even, and there's a lot of ideas that Glenview has done too, with chalkboards where they like swap out
Right.
things, like over and overhang, they'll say, well, this is what's blooming right now. See the blue plant? And then somebody just writes something every week.
Speaking of which, the tall American bellflowers are blooming like crazy over at the
My yard is
Maraba.
wonderful.
Yeah, those are really showy plants.
Can you,
Doesn't the rain wash the chalk away? I mean, is this like have a
Yeah.
protected finish to it? or-
No, it's just, like Glenview does it, it's just out there and somebody changes it off every couple of days. But, I mean, we're out there every couple of days, so, you just go there every 3 or 4 days and just write something new that you see. Did you notice that, this is the tall American bellflower, or this is this, and it's important for this, so.
The other thing you need to start thinking about is what kind of interactive features other than the tribal area.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got to talk to Lewis about whacking all those stumps to uniform height and leveling them off with his 24-inch chainsaw.
Right.
what
Any
what did
other,
you say? Start thinking about interactive
Features,
features
Features.
other than what?
then the area that we have for like
other than the
sitting.
ones that we have already,
Okay.
Yeah.
which is a tribal area and then
Oh, tribal
the,
area. That's what you
the
said.
sitting log
Got
of
it.
the amphitheater. So if we're going to do anything else with wood or
Right.
stumps or wherever else, if we're going
If
to.
you see something in a forest preserve that looks interesting, I know River Trails has some interesting things. They even have, even simple things like those round logs, just to be able to step over things. Or they have hollowed out logs that they've, I'm sure, cured in some way or.
Right. It's time to
polished or-
start thinking about all that
Yeah.
stuff, because we got to get this in high gear.
For the next meeting, for sure. We got to focus.
Can you clarify
on that.
Sam's project? Is it because Chipman said they can't do the suspension bridge that the scouts will not be doing it?
No, that, we're not doing a bridge.
Period.
Period, no
So
bridge.
what are the
His
scouts
focus
doing?
is now going to shift to the trail
Okay,
and the interpretive signage.
okay.
And the pebble, the rock crossing.
Right, right.
But lining the trail can be part of his workday that he needs to do. Putting up the interpretive side, if we're gonna do things on trees, he can do that during the workday. They can certainly put in the boulders with parents if they need to, or depending on what
Well,
that comes
what
up to be.
deadline is he up again? Obviously, probably his 18th birthday.
I'm not sure. I'll know more here, because I told him I would call him after the meeting tonight and have a conversation with him.
Because that may definitely shape what can be done.
Right.
Yeah, he's the
Well-
one
The
here.
signs may not be done by then.
Right.
That's true. We should know what that deadline is for Sam,
Right.
because we want to make sure that his Eagle project is successful, and he doesn't necessarily have to do everything that needs to be done. It just, as long as it's, all right, let's do that.
While we're talking about Con Ed real quick, they are coming out on July 18th at 8:30 in the morning to Marava, if anybody wants to be there.
They emailed, this was just a couple days ago.
Yeah,
They
just 2
emailed-
days ago. yeah,
It's a
next-
Tuesday, Tuesday morning at 8:30.
And this is the PR arm of ComEd, and they're coming out to
Which is new.
look at the progress at Marava Center right now.
For the Green Regions
For the Green
Open Lands
Regions
Grant,
grant.
they now have, for last year, they're taking pictures of all the projects, and they're going to do a whole PR thing. So they want to come out, take some pictures, maybe be led around the site a little bit, and they said it shouldn't take more than 15 minutes. But if anybody wants,
At
at
Marava.
Marava.
We meet at Marava, 8:30?
8:30. So I just want to be shown around and show our progress and what we're
Right.
doing with the project, and they'll
I was
take a lot
gonna
of
print out
pictures.
some before pictures and give them those.
Yeah,
So.
for sure. Right. It's hard to imagine what that looked like before
Yeah.
and what it looks like now.
All right, so that's it for that. The SLU presentation, Nature Speaks in September, that's us, guys. Jill, I think you said you wanted to be a part of that?
Yes.
John, you wanted to be a part of that? Ed was going to be a part of that?
Yeah, sure, if there's room.
Yep, and
Yeah,
then
well,
us too. So,
Peter?
I don't know what, I just have a couple pictures I could,
Okay, yeah, well, any contribution.
yeah,
And
my
then you'll-
backyard.
so I will
and then you'll be there.
put together sort of the matrix. I think I have a pretty good idea of what it's all going to be comprised. I mean, basically, it's focusing on the history, and it's focusing on the work that we've done there, and what the plan was, and where we are in the plan.
Maybe we can separate that out right now so people can take sections.
Yeah, except it's half-baked. So, I mean, even when it is fully baked, we need to, everybody look at it collectively and say, it can be baked a lot better.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just.
So you're going to
it's
bake the
just a
first
starting-
part,
yeah,
and
it's
then
a
everybody
starting
else
point.
will
Right,
fix it up and say,
He's
this
gonna
should be
put the
talked about.
recipe together,
Yeah.
and then we'll
yeah.
cook it.
Parboil it.
I've already, because I'm working on the digital history project.
You're doing the
I have
history.
Yeah.
a chunk of stuff,
Nice.
not so much on the early beginning of the SLU, but associations that came along to preserve it. And then you handed me that article. I wanted to
Right.
get to the Mount Prospect Library and see what they
Yeah.
may have.
Arlington Heights might have something too. I've never checked that library. I did check Prospect Heights Library a couple of times.
Yeah, well, I printed
Yeah,
out some
nice.
things in there.
Nice.
And there's a gentleman in his 80s who was born and raised in Prospect Heights that I want to interview.
Mhm.
So, right away, I think Jill is taking the historical
No,
part.
no, I just-
No,
This
she already
is a
was. I
resource.
mean, she-
No, I know she
that
already
was
was,
her
but,
charge, yeah.
but that's great. No, that's great.
All right, excellent.
So you're gonna just craft a little,
Yeah, I'll do a little matrix.
and then send it to everybody, and then everybody will chime in on, yeah, that's good, and let's add this as a matrix, and then we'll work on that. at the
I'll
next
try to
meeting.
get that out by midweek next week.
That's okay. What about the paintings? It's the same time, right? DDA? No?
Oh, yeah, DDA's, I went to DDA's studio to see the progress of the paintings for the SLU. They look great.
That's also in September. It's gonna,
That's also
so
in
not only are we gonna be speaking in September, but his paintings are gonna be hanging at the library.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we're
It's
hanging that show
SLU
on
September.
September 1st. I'm sorry, on August 31st. The show will have an official formal opening with a reception for him on September 7th, I believe. And he'll be giving a brief presentation.
I had a little preview at those paintings. They're beautiful. There is certain ones are sort of visions of the SLU where you can tell it's the SLU, and other ones are just smack, like you know exactly where you're standing in that painting.
Yeah.
And then he's also included some really nice fire, some fire. It's beautiful, beautiful paintings, just beautiful.
When are the dates, when it'll be at the library?
It'll be, there'll be a list with prices and all the rest out there.
Whatever doesn't sell, we burn.
I was gonna say, I'll wait see what doesn't.
Well, we're not selling it.
My goodness.
When does it go on clearance?
We get a special discount.
Okay. And then you know the schedule from there then on out. After us is Rachel, and then Stephen Packard, then Allison, and then Jerry Wilhelm.
You know, I know it's not on the agenda, but I do just want to make a brief comment on Abigail's presentation and also the opportunity to meet with her, you know, prior, just spectacular. I mean, a class act all the way, and just a compelling presentation.
Yeah.
I mean, this was something well worth waiting for, and I thought it was just phenomenal.
Yeah, she's top drawer all the way, man.
Yeah.
Very well
She's-
attended too, I was glad to see that.
Yep.
Right,
Yeah, I think we were
Excellent
probably
speaker.
50, 55 or something like that.
right, yeah.
A lot
He's
of people
probably-
that just showed up, so.
Right. One of the most attended speaking engagements that we've had.
And are we putting anything in the newspaper? Remember I suggested that we should do that before the talks?
I don't think we did this time.
Especially for Wilhelm, I think we should have
Yeah.
something in the newspaper.
Well, all the speakers are supposed to, I think it fell through the cracks this time.
Probably.
Well, Ed's been really busy,
Well, I'm not, no, I'm just
and I
saying.
think.
Well, and to be honest with you, I need like a prompt, like, hey,
Yeah,
you need to
prompt,
get
like,
this
Ed,
out.
do this. yeah.
Okay,
I work
Alright.
best under deadlines.
All right, okay, so next one. But.
next
this-
one
this-
is us.
Next time is us,
Yeah.
so you'll know, because you'll be in it. But we didn't really even need the newspaper this time for her,
That's true.
it was great.
I just thought for additional.
Yeah, it's very important to get it out and everywhere, more people,
Yeah.
of course.
Even an after talk
Mhm.
article, you know.
After the.
Yeah, just to let the people know that what was going on and what was
Mm-hmm.
said, and,
How many people were there?
yeah.
Right. She's an excellent, excellent speaker. I've seen her talk at so many events, to hundreds of people, to crowds. I mean, she's been keynote speakers to so many amazing events. She's just inspirational,
Yeah.
really, and very, very brilliant and eloquent, and
Mhm.
just,
And likable.
And she laughed at
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of my jokes, so that's a good thing.
All right, then. Journal articles, so the July Journal is in the works. Jill is contributing a 4th of July article. Anybody else has an article they want in, please, please, please contribute. There will be articles on the review of Abigail's talk, the final chapter in the Dr. Hilty saga. And what else? There's a bunch of other stuff.
Is there going to be a review on the book? Is that even worth doing?
Oh, and the Wilhelm's book?
Yeah.
oh,
My goodness.
the new book?
Mhm.
Oh,
The
I don't
Bible?
know. Yeah, I can't review the Bible.
No,
I know.
I guess, what am I saying? Just to make people
Oh,
aware
yeah,
that it's out
that
there.
it's out
and
there?
what
That's
it
a good idea.
covers.
Yeah.
We should have a book section.
Oh, there will be a story on
Book section, we talked about
Agnes's
this
award
before.
on the 27th. So,
Yes, congratulations.
If anybody wants to go to
Yes.
that,
Yay.
they need to sign up and register to go. It's on the 27th at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon at the Botanical Gardens.
July?
Yes,
Okay.
July 27th. And if anybody still, if they want to go and you haven't registered, let me know and I'll send you the link.
What time is it at?
3 o'clock.
And what's this for now again?
That's an
This is a Force of Nature Award from the
Oh,
Chicago Wilderness,
Okay.
probably the last awards they will ever give out.
Okay.
Can you please send the
Not
link then?
necessarily.
I will.
Just send it out.
So Agnes now has mystic powers.
Well, you know who nominated me, so.
Oh, there you go.
So there will be
Did
an
you want
article
to
about
mention
that.
about Dr. Hilty?
Oh, yes. This is fabulous.
It's just new, I think today.
Brand new. Just Dr. Hilty is
So-
coming to visit.
So if for anybody that doesn't remember, Dr. John Hilty is the author of IllinoisWildflowers.org, which is a website that everybody uses, and it's just got an enormous amount of information. He's a brilliant genius that we went to visit last year and sort of befriended him. And he wanted to come out to this area and see some of the natural areas. wanted to photograph things that he hasn't been able to photograph. And one of those places is Volo Bog, which is a really special place with very conservative plant species that don't exist anywhere else in the area. And so he reached out to us and said, hey, can you take me there?
So he is coming in on the evening of August 1st at 8 o'clock at night. He's taking a bus from Champaign.
Wow.
And then you're taking them out to Volo?
No, we're going to bring him here and put him up in the mayor's hotel.
Personally, not for any funds or anything. We're doing that completely as like friends. you
Right.
know.
But then he's we're going to go to Volo Bog. He wants to go to Spring Bluff Fen.
Which is, those are like the high quality areas.
Is there a schedule for these visits, or is it all
No,
in one
nothing.
day?
This is
or-
just
Nothing,
an
it's-
email that he sent yesterday.
Okay, all right.
So it's all
this is-
flying by the seat of the pants for
right,
the moment.
just- right.
He wants
let
to
you
go
know.
to the Gravel Prairie at.
Haven't set anything up. I mean, it would be really nice to have the not the owners, but like the stewards of the sites to lead him around, since
Yeah.
he's such a really well-known person, and they can show him certain areas and species that he would like to see. So I don't personally know anybody at Volo Bog, but we know Doug Tyrone from
Yeah,
Spring Bluff.
Spring Bluff. And
Yeah, and then we know Poplar Creek Prairie Stores for the Gravel Hill Prairie, so,
And they
We
may
go a
know
little tour.
somebody there.
yeah,
And
well,
maybe know someone at the Polo Bar.
right, yeah.
And he also then, the other part of this is he's going to come tour all of our sites and walk through all our sites.
It's gonna be for
with us.
2 days.
He'll be here for 2 days. So he goes back Thursday night at 6 o'clock or something like that.
See, you got
So
them, you wanted them, you got them.
We got,
Who would have thought?
really,
So is
John
it on
Hilton.
August 1st that he's going to the?
he's coming in late the night, the
Oh,
evening
in
of
the
August
evening,
1st.
at 8
So he'll
p.m.
be here the 2nd and the 3rd of
Okay.
August.
Second and 3rd of August.
I literally look at his website every single day, like 3 times. He's so brilliant. Just amazing.
So anybody wants to participate in that, you're more than welcome, absolutely. And as we evolve some kind of schedule.
Those would be kind of day trips out to
Yeah.
these places
Yes.
on like the Tuesday and the Wednesday
Right.
after he comes in on the Monday night.
Exactly.
Wednesday, yeah, no, he comes in on Tuesday night, and
Oh.
so
It'll
it's
be
Wednesday and Thursday.
All right.
At any
Some
time.
advanced planning, I hope to
Yeah.
at least make a Wednesday, so.
Right,
yeah.
that's pretty advanced. I mean, he just let us know yesterday, so.
Yeah,
But I think it'll be a lot of fun. This is sort of outside of the commission. I mean, obviously
yeah, that's
personal,
fine.
good friend he's become, and a good time out in natural areas.
Well, to me, it's just an incredible opportunity to spend time with them.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
genius.
I know. I learned so
You've
much.
already put in your vacation?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Vacation?
study before
Yeah,
we go.
we're taking the days off already.
Yeah.
Also, we did go to Poplar Creek last
Last Sunday.
Sunday morning. We went there and
It was an off day from our work day
planted their carex
that we grew for them,
for them.
which they came out and they planted out like 15,000 plants in return. They came out twice during work days. So we thought we'd help them out because they didn't have an auger, and so we put them in really quickly for them, with them.
We asked for a quote, and we got a good one. All right, so I think that's it.
Do you need a
Unless
motion
anybody
to
else?
adjourn?
Yes.
Oh, wait, resident
Oh,
comments,
yeah.
visitors'
Peter?
comments?
Is no comments.
No comments?
Okay.
Anybody else, anything at all? No?
My motion, we adjourn?
I second. You
All in
second.
favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.